Last time on Dice Funk.
And unless you're willing to barter away your most prized possessions to the lilies to leverage a house being built, this is probably the cheapest way for you to stay in town for the time being.
You know, your group's alright. I got a manticore of hanging around with you guys. Why not? Why not? I'll stay with you guys a bit.
And it's a signet ring for a noble house of a country called Akamoros. That is where Danto is now, and where he is attempting to take over.
Alice asked me to do something. I'm just coming back to let her know what happened.
Tell me everything you know about this angel. If you want to help me, find out what his weaknesses are.
Okay.
Wait, are you into some complicated triangle stuff?
I'd like to be. Do Zoe.
It looks like Fortune has an important upcoming interaction with the Empress, and she'll have to make a difficult choice.
Did anyone ever, get, an address back from, I believe it was Lyra, the fire giant? I know last time we just, kind of froze her in place and left her as it was.
Winifred is putting a new jar of preserves away, the one with the bloody ice frozen inside of it. So as he becomes attuned to the psychic energy of whatever is frozen in that ice, he sees a series of images, almost like memories. And as he reaches up, trying to get to the surface, Winifred sees the face of Theodora, as whoever had this memory is consumed by darkness and drowns on the bottom of this river.
Oops.
Here's a question for you, Austin. Just a serious question. How long has Winnie been making preserves? Because this has been kind of troubling me for the past week, you know?
I like that you're invested in the lore. That means a lot to me. This is a good kind of team building exercise. Let's get all our lore questions out. I made that up on the spot. I had no idea what the implications of that are.
Where is he getting the fruit to make the preserves? I mean, I don't think that was part of the payment we're getting for the missions.
Maybe that's what he requests. He gets a cut.
And lastly, where are they getting the fruit in the first place? I mean, are they just making...
There's a spell called Goodberry where you can make a berry and it's good.
So it's all just good berry preserves?
Well, if you're going to go down that rabbit hole, you could go down the rabbit hole of how is there enough food in this finite amount of space to keep people alive indefinitely?
We have actually discussed that. Create Food and Water is a level 1 spell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically everyone here has it.
Okay, well, create food, created some berries. There you go.
The thing is, there's a bunch of little nitpicky things you could ask, and I actually probably do have answers, because I've spent an inordinate amount of time thinking about this. It's usually just not relevant, like the freezer thing. Like, you guys have a box somewhere in your headquarters which has, an ice crystal in it that keeps it cold so you can put meat in there. Mm-hmm. It's not a big deal. It's not going to be the Deus Ex Machina that saves you during the final boss fight.
Sometime between these sessions and your professors that talks about dank memes during your law schooling, you have time to come up with these ideas. And so I appreciate that. So
thank you. It's good to be appreciated. Where we were last time is that you guys have finished your mission and now you're doing your downtime stuff during your days off. This episode will be the level up episode. So I will go to each player and ask what you got for your level up and what you do during your days off. And so everyone should get their own section of this episode, and then we'll set up the next mission. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Sounds saucy.
So the most natural place to start is with Theodora.
No, not me first.
I know, it's just that you established you weren't right there after breakfast. So chronologically, we have to start there. Because of what if we do you last, but you set the whole city on fire? And then
That does sound like something I would do.
It does, and then nothing will have made sense. Sorry, that's how time works. So Theodora, you're walking across the giant's field, going over to the Rock's place. They're very close to the edge of the barrier. They like to be by themselves in their little log cabin. It's still storming outside, raining very hard. You don't see anybody else out in this muddy field. Do you do anything on the way over, or are you just making your way downtown, walking fast?
I am making my way downtown, walking very fast. And the faces are passing. I'm digging it, though. I'm doing a little rain dance.
Yeah, make it worse. Good. So you get to the Rock's house. The door is open a little bit. The door is ajar, as they say.
I'm gonna do that knock that's like, dut.
Shaving a haircut?
Hey, guys, are you there?
Robin Rock, the elfy ooze, comes over and sees who is there, and it's you. And it's hard to tell his expression because he is sentient.
Goo?
He's goo. But he doesn't look, as far as you can tell, pleased. And you can see as he opens the door all the way up, like the inside of their house is trashed. Like there's bottles everywhere and there's like cigarette butts everywhere. You've been here before and it's usually not like that. And you don't see hide nor hair of Claudia Rock.
Hey, Robin. I came to check on you because my teammates were dicks. Hey. I'm sorry. Are you okay? Do you need anything? Can I get you anything? Oh my god.
He makes grumpy face emojis with his hands.
No, I'm sorry. Is there anything I can do? Where's Claudia?
So when I speak for Robin, he's forming these words, of course, but I'm just going to say it. He says, she left.
Left to where?
Don't know.
Oh, heck. Do you need anything, Robin?
What want? Question mark.
Oh, I came to check on you guys and say hi.
You've done enough. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
I didn't do it. I was being drowned by goo.
When you say goo,
That's racist, man.
he wasn't thrilled about you being here, and now he's like actively like there's a hostility. Hostility exists here.
I'm sorry, Robin. I'll go find Claudia. I'll look for her for you.
He doesn't respond to that. It doesn't seem like he cares. Your friends exploded him.
Yeah, that was pretty uncool. I'm sorry that about what happened. I didn't mean for it to happen.
He starts pushing the door closed on you.
Okay. Well, you know what I'm gonna do?
Yeah?
I am going to cast Sending to message Claudia.
Nice. That's a good use of your spell slot.
Whatever. I got a lot of cantrips.
What do you say?
I'm gonna say, hey, Claudia, I'm at your house and you're not here. I need to talk to you. Are you okay? Where are you?
She responds, Robin and I had a fight. Don't worry about me.
Should have asked her where she was.
I mean, you did, I think.
Oh, she didn't tell me.
Yeah.
Would I know where Claudia likes to go?
It sounds like a survival check is what you want to make to try to track her.
Yeah, I'm gonna track that bitch.
Okay.
I rolled a 19! Woo!
Okay, that's very good. So what you do is as Robin slowly closes the door on your face and just kind of pushes you back out of the house, you turn and go to look for Claudia. You just kind of go straight for a while, and we'll get back to that scene in a second, because right now you have to walk for a bit. And on that journey, I think this is a good point to ask you, Lauren, what did you do to Theodora's capabilities when you leveled up?
Okay, so I got 2 points to ability score increase. I'm gonna put 1 in charisma and 1 in wisdom. And then for my spell, I chose banishment. I attempt to send one creature that I can see within range to another plane of existence. The target must succeed on a charisma saving throw or be banished.
Okay, as we've discussed, once you enter Ilium, you can never leave.
So that wouldn't work?
In fiction, you don't know what would happen. So you can try it, and then you'd find out. Or
okay,
not.
I'm gonna keep it, because I think it could be fun.
It could be.
So that's like what I did.
All right, so with your new banishment spell, which may or may not work, and your 19 roll, you go in the general direction you think Claudia Rock may be. And as you get closer, I think Perry Mason, your Periton, can sense heartbeats.
Yes, my boy.
So it's really never in question. That was actually a pretty low DC. You only needed to be in the general area, and you could pretty much immediately pinpoint her, because that's a thing you can do. But you know that where Claudia is, because you can sense her heartbeat.
Haha, take that. Trying to hide from me. I got a Perry Mason.
She's not trying to hide from you. You find her at the bottom of a hill, just smoking. Cigarette butts all littered through the grass, and you could throw a rock and hit the barrier. That's how far away you guys are from, like, the rain storm, which is in the center of town. So it does reach you, but this is the lightest it is.
Hey, Claudia. Hey, what you doing?
Is this what you consider minding your own business?
Yup, sure is.
Dora.
Claudia.
What do you want?
I just am worried about you. I want to check on you and Robin.
So your friends can explode us again?
I didn't know that was gonna happen. I had just been drowned by weird sentient blood. I didn't know it was happening. I would have stopped it if I could have.
Don't you have dark evil eyeball powers? How would you get beat up by water?
It snuck up on me. It surprised me.
Did it? I only saw it from a distance away, and it was dark and it was raining, but I feel like you watched it walk towards you and you stood there and you let it.
Well, I didn't know that was gonna happen.
Okay, so it didn't sneak up on you.
Listen, whether or not it snuck up on me, it happened, okay? It's too late to change anything.
I guess that is a way you can live with yourself if you just say that about everything.
Yeah, exactly. You get me. See, this is why we're such good friends.
Are we? Is that what we are, Dora?
I would like to be.
She, like, gets up from where she was, like, lounging and walks over, like, pretty close to you. Like, I want to say, like, nose to nose, but she's, like, up in your personal space at this point. And she says, "What do you want from me, Dora?"
I just want to be your friend.
And that's it? And that's why you spend every free day at my house? That's why you're constantly trying to talk to us about our personal lives, and you're, like, borrowing spells from us and plotting behind your coworkers' backs?
I mean, maybe more than friends. We don't need to talk about that right now. I just like being around you guys. I think you're really cool.
She takes a drag on her cigarette, and it is very cool.
See, look, you're doing that whole thing.
Because smoking is cool, kids.
That's right.
Sorry to break it to you.
That's right, kids.
And then she just, like, blows smoke in your face.
See? Super cool.
I knew this was going to happen.
Did you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't understand half the things you say, Dora. It's either eyeball talk or walking directly into me trying to repel you. Is that what you're into? Is that, like, your thing?
I don't know, maybe. Do you want it to be my thing?
Okay, well... Lauren, that's the other role-playing podcast we do.
Oh, yeah!
That's the After Dark one. Christ. Roll persuasion to make this charming.
Oh, no, I rolled an 11.
So you say, "Do you want that to be my thing?" And she just kind of shoves you back towards the barrier. Not hard, like she's trying to knock you over, but, like, she pushes you. And she says... "So this is just fun for you? Just the manic pixie asshole thing? Is this just your game? Is this fun?"
There's no game. I'm just being me. I'm not trying to play any games. I'm just doing my thing. I like you guys. I think you're cool. I want to be around you guys. My teammates fucked up your whole thing. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that to happen.
And is this usually how it works? You just associate with attempted murderers and it's just okay because you're fun?
Wait, who's an attempted murderer?
Zoey?
I don't think she thought that was what was going to happen.
Okay, well, reckless endangerment then. I'm a researcher. We were grad students before we came here. This is not my profession. This is not fun. I'm not trying to hoard treasure. I'm just trying to fix my husband. This isn't a game to me.
I'm not playing games. I'm trying to do what I'm supposed to do for my religion.
And what happens if we fix Robin and then we don't have any professional relationship anymore, then what? You just come over our house and we have cookouts? We give each other birthday gifts? We're just normal neighbors? Is that how you picture the rest of your life?
What? Why not? I'm perfectly content staying where I am, doing things for Ganny, breeding my crabs, solving mysteries, and hanging out with you guys. That's like what I left the swamp for.
And you don't think this place is a waking nightmare?
I don't. I think it's fun.
Jesus. Well, there's no Jesus, so she wouldn't say that, huh? So she's just like, you don't think very far ahead, do you?
I live in the now.
Perception check?
20.
Jeebus. All right, so you have Perry Mason. You can sense heartbeats. You sense one behind you on the other side of the barrier, and it's getting closer.
Something's coming in.
And you see the silhouette of a humanoid figure kind of shambling towards the outside of the barrier.
Oh, fuck, it's another zombie.
And it's coming. Are you going to do anything? It's coming straight for you.
Can I set it? Am I close enough to set it on fire?
Well, it's on the other side of the barrier right now.
Okay, I'm gonna back away from the barrier.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Claudia, it does seem that there is a zombie, which is probably going to try and throw up in my mouth again, coming in, so maybe we should back away from the barrier.
Oh no, what have you gotten me into this time, Dora?
I don't know, there's weird vomiting zombies, and I don't like it, and I'm gonna set it on fire.
So you guys back up, and as the zombie walks through the kind of aurora borealis, rainbow, colorful barrier around Ilium, it just walks right through it, and you see it is a very nicely dressed elderly woman who has no intelligence in her gaze. It's definitely a zombie, and it stops as soon as it steps foot inside the barrier, and you see some of the groundwater, like a puddle, because everything is wet and muddy here, kind of congeal around it, and it's something. And the stalker, which is what we're calling this bloody water creature, kind of swirls up around its leg and up its body and into its mouth. And now it starts walking again towards you.
Can I set it on fire?
You may. You don't have to ask permission for that, but this is very polite of you.
Do I have to roll for that, or can I just do it if it's a cantrip?
So normally you would roll in a combat situation, but here's the math of this is that you can walk faster than it can walk, and you have cantrips that do damage, the ranged ones. So literally you cannot lose this fight. It will walk towards you and you will back up shooting it until you kill it. So if you want to describe this in roleplay terms and skip the rolling, you can. Or we can just see how long it takes you to just fucking slapstick your way through this.
No, I'm going to say Dora just, gets close enough to set it on fire without getting thrown up on, and she just keeps fireballing it, basically. It's produce flame, but she sets it on fire until it stops.
All right, so it's raining, so you keep summoning fireballs and chucking them, and they hit the zombie, but then before they can really get a good burn going, they kind of get put out, and Claudia watches you chuck 3 or 4 fireballs, and then she just kind of rolls her eyes, does a hand motion, her messenger bag opens up, and some precious gems float out, and with another wave of her hand, she just puts a diamond through its forehead and just blows its brains out the back of its head. And as the zombie falls on its face, and then you see the stalker slither out of the hole in its skull and kind of join the puddles again and dematerialize, and then it escapes.
Do you know anything about that, Claudia?
Do I know anything about the assassin water that seems to be hitching rides on zombies to murder you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, this happens all the time where I'm from. What the fuck are you talking about, little girl?
You know, you're a scientist. I don't know, you might know about stuff.
All I know is that thing is definitely after you, and it seems like the water part needs the zombie part, and zombies are coming in. There's clearly a piece of this puzzle missing.
I don't want to get zombie murdered.
I mean, does anybody? Is that somebody? Oh, actually, never mind. That's somebody's fetish. Certainly.
Well, thanks for helping.
Yeah, I think you would have got him eventually. You would have figured out the fire wasn't great in the rain. Someday.
I'm a simple woman.
You're something, all right.
Am I your friend? Can I come over and eat mac and cheese?
What is your damage?
I grew up in a swamp.
If that's how they do things in the swamp, I don't want to be insensitive to your lifestyle.
Yeah, that's right. I know you better not.
Did you apologize to Robin?
I think, but he seemed like it made him angrier, so.
Yeah, we're having trouble. And last night didn't help.
How come you guys are having trouble?
He's a jelly man.
Yeah?
Made of acid.
Yeah?
Do I need to spell it out for you, Dora? I don't know how you swamp people do.
Out of character, the answer is yes. It needs to be spelled out for Dora.
For the sake of the listeners, yes.
I can't touch my husband, Dora.
Yeah, that is a problem, huh?
To me, I don't know if it is in your brain space.
Well, I'm still, keeping my eye out. If I find anything that can help you guys, I'll let you know as soon as I find it.
If you survive that long.
I mean, I've survived a very, 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 very long time. So, I mean, I'm pretty good. Also, did you hear about my cool pet? My cool ghost pet?
I saw your new friend's manticore. It was very spooky.
I'm gonna summon Perry Mason and show her. It's my boy!
Yeah, that's what you need. More power.
Hey, look at him. He's cool, right?
He's very cool. And now I'm worried because you already can set things on fire and summon the power of dark gods, and now you command a ghost?
Yeah, I'm pretty sweet.
You can barely carry on a sentence, and yet you've subjugated the dead, Dora.
Hey, oh my god! What did you just say to me?
You can barely carry on a sentence?
No, the other part.
I don't know. It was probably a snide insult.
Did you say something about subjugating the dead?
Is that not what you've done? You command a ghost.
Oh, fuck yeah. You don't know how much that means to me, Claudia.
Okay, I guess we're having two separate conversations now. That's fine.
Hey, you want to pet him?
Oh my god. She like slumps forward, like head in hands, like comically upset, like exaggeratedly upset with your shenanigans, and she just kind of like rests her head on your shoulder.
Oh, shit. I'm gonna pet her head.
And she says, what am I gonna do with you?
Let me come over?
Do you think we have mac and cheese? Is that what's happening?
I don't know. I just said mac and cheese. I'm really fine with any food.
Okay. Let's go get you fed, I guess.
Nice. Free dinner.
And I guess you guys go and you're gonna go and never report to your teammates.
Well, I'll just pineapple. Pineapple!
Okay, and you're just gonna tell Winnie, hi, it's me, Winnie, what are you doing?
Hey, Winnie, I'm having dinner with the rocks.
Okay, are you ever gonna come home?
Someday.
My preserves are a big hit. You should get in on this before they're all gone.
Winnie, are they ever all gone? You always make more.
No.
But I'll bring some to the rocks next time if it makes you feel better.
That would.
Okay, bye.
I guess you go to the Rock's house and you have dinner with them, and it's uneasy and there's still tension there, but you help them clean up their place from their fight, and you have mac and cheese or whatever. And during that, you get a message from Gonador, just like mid-bite, and he says,
corrupt the youth and convert the non-believer.
Ooh.
And now you have one mission down and one new mission.
Nice.
Do you just say that out loud at the dinner table?
Yes.
The last image of this is like you're at the dinner table, you're just eating cheese, and you get a message from your god, and you just say with a mouthful of mac, nice. And they just look at you.
Right.
And they're awkward because they're like in a weird place in their relationship, and you're like definitely trying to break yourself off some threesome action. And that's it? And you just don't acknowledge the awkwardness there or anything?
Oh, no, that's definitely it. I do not acknowledge any awkwardness.
Okay, so I'm definitely gonna have to figure out what the role is for you to close this deal someday.
Oh, that was fun.
Zoey and Roland were playing chess while Veltari was reading, so any of those are good to go next. If anybody is eager or thinks they have a good in,
I'm fine with going next, if that's all right.
That is very all right with me.
Mm-hmm.
There's sort of two things that Roland kind of does for the time being for his level up scene or section. The first is that he has probably, after finishing some dragon chess with Zoey, sort of resume what he was doing initially, which was going to be doing a bit of reading, research, and sort of taking notes in his various books that he brought in when he first came into Ilium. He basically has sort of a mini library of text pertaining to the Triad, the history of Theodora Ilmater, their journeys, the way they joined together as a group, the way they work off of each other, the fights they went through, and all that stuff. And has sort of been doing this research for most of the time he's been in Ilium. And then at one point, he finally stops taking the notes and moves to start packing up the dragon chess set so he can take it with him as he goes to have a visit with the Warden. And of course, on his way out, he makes sure to tell Winnie that he's heading out to have a meeting or so, and he shouldn't be gone for too long.
Winifred started his morning receiving a worrying psychic vision from a popsicle in your freezer, and he seems kind of distant, but he does not bring it up yet. So he acknowledges you and kind of just like floats off, and we'll cross the Winifred Bridge when we come to it, but he's still chewing that over. So if you're going to head on over to the Sacrum, it is still absolutely pouring. I assume you have an umbrella. So you're going to make your way over there with your dragon chest stuff. Did you get any new cool paladin?
Not at level 8, just because for pretty much any class, level 8 is just the ability score improvement level. So I looked at the feats. None of the feats were really compelling. So I just took Roland's intelligence and bump it from 18 up to 20, which is purely a min-maxing option because so many of the Justiciar's features key off of the casting stat, since that's how paladins operate as well. So that means his aura of devotion is even better now. So he gets a +5 bonus to all saving throws. His channel divinity stuff is better. His other features are stronger. So he's also basically at max intelligence. There's no way to make his intelligence higher than 20 because there's just no feature in the game that allows for that. So that's all he did for level 8.
So beating up on Zoey in Dragon Chest in the last episode puts you over into the smartest man on the planet.
I would like to think him doing the research over the past year contributed more to that.
I like bullying the child.
I mean, let's be honest, that doesn't really take much effort, so it's not really that challenging mentally.
Yikes.
I feel that shade, Sketch.
It's not shade, it's just, a statement.
All right, so as you walk towards the Sacrum, it is the heaviest part of the rainfall, but as you approach the tower, you actually see Warden Light standing outside. He's in his big purple robe. Once again, to describe this character, it's been a while, but he is just like a perfectly mannequin-esque, like beautiful man, basically, and like long flowing hair. It's like a shampoo commercial out here with him in the rain, and he's just like standing and looking up at the tower. And you're still a ways off, so you kind of just see his outline. And as the thunder and lightning roars overhead, suddenly the orb on top of the Sacrum kind of glows brighter, and the storm seems to shift its focus, if a storm can be said to have focus, towards it. And all of the lightning begins striking the orb, and all the rain seems to be getting sucked towards it. And by the time you get to the Warden, it seems like the tower itself has begun to absorb the power of the storm. So like all of the rain is raining into the orb, and all the lightning is only striking it, and the storm is like dying down almost. And the Warden is just looking up quietly and watching as this happens.
Roland approaches, looks up, and then just simply remarks like, I didn't realize that the light orb up there was also a lightning orb.
Oh, Brother Hawklight. Jokes again, I see.
Ilmater is always a fan of jokes, you know that.
Keep at it, my son. You'll get it one day.
You seemed troubled last time we visited, and I wanted to discuss some things with you if it wasn't too bothersome right now.
Oh, it's no bother at all, Brother Hawklight. I had some things I wish to discuss with you as well. So, our paths have crossed in a most fortuitous way this morning. What is soon to be a fine and beautiful morning, if this works.
I take it you're trying to absorb the energy of the storm in an effort to run its course a bit more quickly?
We can't allow this hazard to hang over all of the refugees here.
Maybe when we're done with our little chat, should be all bright and back to normal outside. Well, as normal as things can be around here.
God's willing.
Yes. I decided to bring a little something along to hopefully help pass the time and maybe give you some relief from the troubles that you've been running through. And Roland holds up the sort of the folded up dragon chest set that even includes a carrying handle. It's a very, very nice little set there.
That case isn't filled with joke books, I hope.
No. Fortunately, I guess, no.
There is mercy in the world still.
But yes, I'm not sure if angels such as yourself ever engage in any sort of games of skill, but I decided to bring along something that would give me comfort at times when I needed to think over troubling matters. I'll show you.
All right. I can't promise I'll be any challenge. Perhaps an angel of a god of chance or skill would be better suited. As long as you're having fun, that's what's important.
But following duty effectively also means having effective strategies, man. That's where this does come into play.
If you say so, Brother Hawklight. And he, I guess he goes back inside.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys want to like set up on a pew or something and have this conversation, we can do that.
Yeah.
He doesn't know the rules, so he's gonna have disadvantage on a check to play dragon chess with you.
So we'll just we'll just roll to kind of set up the first round and see where it goes from there.
Mm-hmm.
Roland's was 14. Oh, it just barely edges out on that round.
13. Yep. So he's like, all right, what does this one do? And you're like, oh, it goes diagonal. And he's like, okay. And then he just starts like creaming you with it. And you're like, whoa, I'm going to have to pull out my A game.
Mm-hmm.
He's very smart. He's a very quick learner. So basically after like one round, he is grasped like what it would take someone like years of study. He's like using openings with Russian names on his second game.
See, you pick up quite quickly. I was fairly confident you'd be able to pick this up quite well. I mean,
when you spend your time interpreting scripture, you'll find that a defined rule set can be comforting in its definite answers.
Speaking of definite answers, me and my compatriots were asking some questions about things that happened recently, most notably with, one of a former member of the avant-gardes.
Yes, the murderer.
Yes, the murderer. My question for you is, if this person was committing the foul acts, why didn't you just kill him outright?
Justice, Brother Hawklight, is not retributive. It serves many purposes and comes in many forms. Some may not believe in the power of reform. To be honest, I'm not sure that I do, but it's not up to me.
Then who is it up to?
Tyr, of course, the god of justice.
Yes, but it's not like Tyr is going to be able to intercede and interact with us here, is he? Has he been?
Not directly. The gods don't often, if ever, interfere directly. As I'm sure you know, they prefer to appoint champions, enchant artifacts, leave behind vague stories to fight over.
Mm-hmm.
But it is clear from the teachings accepted by the followers of Tyr that when possible, we should attempt to reform those who have lost their way.
So do you ever picture Bumbershoot being reformed? From the tone of your voice and from the movement of your actions, part of me suspects and feels that you doubt that such a reform could ever happen.
He looks you just straight dead in the eye and just says, no.
As I suspected.
Men like Bumbershoot don't change.
Roland nods lightly. If that's the case, then why did it trouble you so much?
I have a great doubt in my heart these days. I know not whether from wickedness or weakness, but seeing the goings on in this place, the evil that runs free, the selfishness, the violence. Sometimes I cannot help but doubt the wisdom of all of this, and it shames me greatly to have such feelings. It's unbecoming. Unfortunately, I am only a shard of the divine, neither omniscient nor omnipotent, and such weakness, it comes to us all.
I certainly can sympathize. I mean, I've confided in you about why I was even here in the first place and the circumstances that have drawn me here.
It would be much easier if the gods would just intervene and lift our heavy burdens and strike down the evildoers, but here we are. 13 on my chess roll.
Ooh, 10.
Yeah. Hey, someone beat Roland.
Yeah, that's right.
Warden Light takes a game, and he kind of like waves the piece like playfully, and he says, if omnipotence could just reach down like a game and just knock all the bad pieces off the board, the world would be much less exciting, but much easier to live in. I think we can all agree.
Yes, but how do you know which pieces are bad? By their actions or their being?
And that brings us back to your question. Why did Bumbershoot run free for so long? Why did it pain me so much to have to imprison him? I could not know for certain that he was evil until I heard it from him.
Mm-hmm.
And then it fell on me to enact a justice of which I have doubts. And I do not think he will ever recover. Is that justice? Is the world better now?
I probably would have been compelled just to slay him right then and there as the best assurance to prevent any further harm to others. Mainly because I have no means of imprisoning him indefinitely.
Yeah, I've heard the tales of your merciful swords. I suppose that's a mercy, I guess. From a certain perspective, you could call it a mercy.
I suppose the one thing I can ask then is, why don't we simply try to remove the barrier that traps all of us inside here?
It is not for us to question these things that are above mortal lives. I wouldn't trouble yourself about it, but I do have a question on a similar topic, and in fact, why I wanted to speak with you. After some time working on a solution to the so-called ghost problem, I have come to a bit of an impasse about what to do with the spirits that are trapped here, and I would like your input, because I find my judgment more clouded than I would like these days. So, in simplest terms, I do not know whether it would be kinder to trap the spirits again the way they were and restore the old status quo where the dead cannot join the afterlife promised to them, or whether it would be kinder to simply destroy them and no longer torment them with their disembodied existence and simply allow them to feel nothing as opposed to some sort of suffering.
Well, destroying them denies them any possibility of seeking either retribution, comfort, punishment beyond the grave, or otherwise, depending on the implications of what happens if the barrier were ever removed or dissolved in some way. So I take it you're still doubtful that will ever happen.
It is not my place to have an opinion on that matter.
But that is primarily why I really don't think that destroying the souls is an appropriate course of action.
Thank you for your input, Brother Hawklight. It puts my mind at ease to have someone else's opinion I can rely on.
There were some spirits that seemed to interact in a friendly and even a calm manner after the events of Hawthorne Manor. After that, I really could not stand to see those souls destroyed.
Ah, that reminds me. I commissioned you and your friends to capture the necromancer, and in a way you have.
I'm sorry?
Quite a roundabout way, but Maximilian Hawthorne is now in my care as well, and so I'll have your reward sent over to Winifred. I believe furniture, was it, for young Zoe?
I'm sorry, you'll have to clarify what you mean by that, sir.
No, I don't think I will.
You son of a bitch.
Given the circumstances, I would have honestly preferred if Hawthorne was not in any sort of custody or imprisonment.
And if his conscience becomes clear and he repents of his crimes and he is reformed, he will be released.
Has anyone ever been released once they are in your custody, sir?
I told you, Brother Hawklight, these days I have great doubt in the ability of the spirit to be reformed. No one has ever been released from my care.
So, just out of character, was that a straight answer from him?
Mm-hmm.
That is impressive. Well done, Roland.
So, if the goal of being in your care is reform, and no one has been able to be reformed...
And now you have reached the conclusions that keep me awake at night and fill my mind with doubt. And I apologize for that. One of your greatest attributes is your clear-headedness, and I fear our conversations will, over time, slowly detract from that.
Roland just sort of almost snirks at that. It's just like, I've been presented with troubling questions about the nature of issuing justice towards others and punishment and how to do so in the proper manner. And that steadfastness was what caused me to lose my rank and be removed from the order, even if I still maintain that my actions were in keeping with the triad.
Yes, you followed your ideals, you enacted justice, you did the right thing, and the people responsible for the evil you fought against are free.
18.
9. Metaphors. Symbolism. Warden Light stands up when you beat him in this next chess game, and it's clear that you guys have started to reach some ideological schisms.
Yes.
And he says, "Thank you for your assistance and your counsel, Brother Hawklight. Will there be anything else? I do want to make sure the progress on the storm is coming along."
The only thing I request is that if Hawthorne is in your custody and in your care, is his widow aware of his status?
I do not know. I have not inquired.
It might be likely that the lack of his presence might cause her some undue duress.
You have my permission, my blessing, to deliver that message if you wish. And he just starts walking towards the doors.
Roland sighs and then just starts packing up the Dragon Chess set and moves to return back to the Avant-Garde's headquarters after that.
All right, so as you leave the sacrum, you can look up at the storm, and it's basically slowed to a drizzle, and the lightning is weak. There's just occasional bolts, and by the end of the day, all that's left of the thunderstorm is the dark clouds, and those hang over the town for the foreseeable future, but they are no longer a threat. The power and the energy from the storm has been drained, and now it is just mood lighting for what you guys have done to this town. We have Zoey and Veltari. Either of you have a good sense of when you should go? Who's more excited?
I'll do it. I'll go. I'll be excited. Yeah.
Yay!
I should be excited. I have been ready for this all week.
All right.
I have like a good dozen or so things that may or may not come up just in a document. just looking for places to maybe throw them in.
All right. So what'd you get for your level up?
For my level up, let me double check because I made a note of this. By leveling up to level 8, Valtteri gained 2 charisma, gained another level 4 spell slot, and learned Fear, which is a fun spell. I get to make a 30-foot cone, 1 minute duration, and I can create a phantasmal image of a target's worst nightmares that cause them to become frightened, drop anything that they're currently holding, and use their dash action to flee unless they can't move. Just run the hell away from me.
I'm noticing a theme between a hypnotic pattern, compulsion, fear, and your manticore thing, which are all about just wrecking people's just sense of safety and self.
Oh, exactly. I like being a performer, but I also like the idea of just like, get the hell away from me if I don't want you here. I will make you move.
All right. So Veltari, after you're finished rooting through someone else's mail, what do you do?
Well, considering that the only place I've really been in town at this point is the bar, and up until the point that everything flew sideways, the bar seemed like quite a fun place to be, I'm going right back to the bar.
All right. Awesome. So you walk in. What time? Do you want to go during when it's busy or when it's slow?
I want to go in when it's like, it's been busy, but it's starting to quiet down a little bit.
All right, so easily doable. You walk in and you see Carrie. She's kind of cleaning up from the rush, and she's kind of winding down. And she sees you walk in, and she kind of tries to low key shapeshift a little bit to maybe make herself a little bit more interesting because she was just like in work mode. And then she sees you come in, the new stranger in town who caught her midair.
Ooh. What sort of changes is she making?
She probably makes her like tattoos a bit more fancy. Like they might have just been like tough, cool, like flaming skulls and stuff, and now suddenly they're like more intricate, like flowers inside of like geometric patterns. And she maybe makes her hair longer, and like does her nails up or something. She just kind of like fancies it up a little bit.
Okay.
But low key, like she doesn't, you know.
She doesn't want it to be obvious that she's, you know, niced herself up a bit.
Oh, I didn't see you come in. Hey.
Hey, how are you doing, Carrie?
You know, business as usual. I didn't have to clean any of the mess up last night. Magic's cool.
Yeah, magic is cool. It's good to see that the place hasn't flown to the side today. That's an improvement on last time I was here.
Yeah, I highly doubt that's going to happen again, considering the, let's call it discipline that went down.
Okay, I am guessing that not everyone in this bar was as psyched as that kid was about making everything go sideways.
Now, the boss did not love it.
Can't imagine the boss would. Yeah, how's your shift been today?
Same as most days, less fire than last Tuesday, but you know, Tuesdays are what they are.
Yeah, that's good. I could do with a drink. What you got for me today?
Let's see. We have Demogorgon, Belial, we got Asmodeus. There's a theme. I don't know if you've noticed.
I'm picking up on a theme, and it's a theme I can get behind. You know what? I'm going to leave this to you. I trust your judgment. I'm going to leave the fate of my drink in your hands.
Famous last words. And she winks.
Well, you know, if I'm going to be downed, drink is not a bad way for it to happen.
All right. She makes you something that's a little showy, like it involves flipping tumblers around. It's like probably unnecessary, but she makes a little bit of a show out of it, and it's pretty fancy, and there's lots of colors, and it's like sparkly.
Oh, that does look quite fancy. Now, I've got a proposal for you here. You seem to be making pretty nice drinks, and you know you saw me playing music in here the other day, right?
How could I miss it?
Oh yeah, exactly. I didn't exactly make any secrets about it, did I? So here's what I'm gonna do. If this drink impresses me, I mean really impresses me, I'm gonna give you a song in exchange. You know what that is? That's the barter system.
Oh my word.
I'm very curious whether Carrie is receptive to my terrible pun or not.
I don't even know what to do with myself right now.
Oh my god.
I don't know where to look. I don't know how to feel.
This is Valtteri, like, not being terribly coy about the fact that she's a bit into Carrie. It's just like, I'm trying a bit hard and not hiding it very well.
Performance, because this is like bard chicanery.
She's making sure to go across the bard with all these puns here, okay?
Don't be jumping to this. I've got a bunch of puns still to do.
Just make sure to don't go over bard, all right?
Oh no.
Stop doing this in case you steal my puns. 29.
Oh.
Natural crit +9 on performance.
Christ. All right, she has to go change her underwear. What do you want from me?
That is what I wanted my shitty pun to do.
Your puns are so good. She unconsciously chameleon color changes. She full body blushes.
Let me know. Was that romantic or should I try something else?
When you say that, the manticore floats out behind you with 2 thumbs up, right? Oh my goodness. How come you guys only crit on the fucking goofy stuff? It's always pajamas and flirting and never...
The goal is to make Carrie as stiff as a bard, all right?
Hey, this is not a goofy thing. There is an end game here. Not only am I flirting, I also eventually want to get some information on killing angels, and flirting's not a bad, inroad there. Don't assume this is purely because I want to flirt with imaginary people. It's only part of it.
So how's the drink? It's up to you. I don't know there's a role for your taste buds.
I have a drink, and honest opinion on the drink, I'm gonna say that it was a spectacular drink, but I don't want to give that away. I want to play with Carrie a bit here. So I guess, do I have to do deception, I guess, there?
Yeah, to try to play it cool.
26, another natural 20.
That's impossible. Someone screenshot this.
This is great. This is going on Twitter later on.
There's no way. Math doesn't work like that, Laura.
Okay, so this drink was fantastic as I'd dared Carrie to make it, but I'm gonna play it very cool and just be like, that's all right. I reckon you could have done better. You could have done. Go on, you can do better, can't you?
You play it so cool that she has now a deep psychological need to impress you from now on because you just perfectly got into her insecurities.
I don't know why, in my mind, I just keep imagining you took a sip and then your bow tie started spinning, but you just nonchalantly play it off, you just no-sell it essentially. That was an amazing drink, but I'm not going to give you a single crack.
No, it's, that drink was alright. You can, go on, one more. You can one-up that, I'm sure you can, can't you, Carrie?
Alright, she makes you another one, even fancier this time. There's, fire involved. She gets out that little creme brulee torch, and she's really getting in there. This is chopped.
Carrie, I gotta tell you, you are one impressive bartender. You really are.
But you're the bard. It's okay. You rolled 2 crits. You can say basically whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm now using my double crit as my excuse to just use all of the remaining puns that don't really work, but I'm hoping that the confidence with which Veltari went into this is now just going to carry the rest of these puns.
Yeah, basically.
This is now a no-holds-barred assault of puns.
Oh, very good, very good. I held off on that one for you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that you were caught between a rock and a barred place.
I wish I was in angel prison.
I wanted to make sure you didn't have to go back to the drawing board for the other puns, so...
I feel mean that I'm doing this many puns, but I don't feel that I feel like I've been a little bit mean, but you should have expected it. I am barred to the bone.
Now, just in my head for the rest of this episode, Cut My Life into Pieces is playing on full blast, because it's the only way I can express my soul.
So, how is Carrie right now?
Listen, she's putty in your hands. You got her, right?
This is good. This is far faster progress than I had expected to make.
It's 2 crits in a row. It would be unfair. It would be vindictive of me not to let this happen. You got her. So, yeah, you guys flirt over drinks. You crush it.
Okay, so there are 2 things I want to do while I'm still at the bar. First of all, I want to be like, hey, so, Carrie, this has been fun. This has been super fun. I fancy doing this again sometime, maybe when you're not stuck working. Now, I know asking someone out when they are working, it's a no-no generally. It's an awkward thing if you want to say no. It causes problems. I get that. You don't ask someone out when they're working, but I'm gonna make an exception here because I feel like this is working.
Well, I live here too, so it's kind of a house call.
Hey, that works for me. Do you fancy dinner sometime?
Your place or mine?
Well, considering how good you are at the bar, I'd be very interested to see what you could whip up in a kitchen. So let's say yours.
If Dora rolled this well, she would have internal acid burns by now.
But I'll hit you up some other time about this. We're gonna do that dinner. It's gonna be lovely. But while I'm here, I do have to do some business. I came here to do some work. This has been good, and we gotta do this again. But do you mind helping me with the work thing while I'm here? I know this is a weird about turn here.
I mean, I'm the last person to lecture someone about mixing business and pleasure. That's kind of the whole succubus thing, you know?
Yeah, I get you. So, I'm just gonna be blunt with this, and hopefully you can help me. I really hope you can. It would be a really big, personal favor if you could. Just gonna come out with this. I'm curious how you kill an angel.
A word?
Yeah.
It's not hypothetically.
Hypothetically, of course. I'm clearly not actually going to kill any particular angel, particularly not one inside this bubble, but just humor me. You've been so wonderful today. I hope you can just humor me this pure hypothetical, obviously.
Theoretically, when you're dealing with something on that level, something kind of like the boss in power, you're going to want to forget about all of your conventional weaponry, all the spells you memorized, all the things you think you know about fighting. You look strong, you have a sword, but you're going to need to work on something of a cosmic, divine kind of level. So I wouldn't worry your pretty little head about it unless you have something which you can attach some kind of deity's name to. So unless that's like the guitar of Garl Glittergold or like the sword of Groomsh or something, I think you're gonna have to keep it purely hypothetical for now.
Okay, I get you, and I appreciate you humoring me. I know it's what a silly hypothetical for me to ask, but if you ever happen to hear of anything just lying around in that realm, just let me know. It would I'd certainly appreciate it. I just sort of wink at her and like a little bit of a pout as I wink.
She makes like a bashful eye batting at you, but she says, you'll be the second person I tell. I definitely can't sneak something like that by the boss if I want to keep my hands.
I get it. You let the boss know, but just making sure I catch wind of it would be, great. For hypotheticals, of course, but this has been fun. I've really enjoyed myself today, and I can't wait for that dinner. I'm sure you'll knock my socks off.
I already have it penciled in.
Don't run it by the boss, but run it by the bard.
That's not even a pun, Sketch.
Yes, it is. It's supposed to buy the board,
Okay.
Just be glad I didn't use some of my worst puns. I had some terrible ones that I avoided. Probably the worst one I had in my arsenal was Manticore, blimey.
Christ.
That may be the worst pun I came up with this week.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So did you have anything else you wanted to do this week, Laura?
I think I'll leave it there. I think flirting ridiculously with Carrie and getting a promise of information in the future about killing angels it's a good week.
Yeah, we've learned a lot of stuff this week. We've learned no one's ever escaped from jail. We know you're going to need some kind of god weapon. Useful information, but we have one more person to talk to this week. Chris, are you still on the line?
Yes, in theory.
How was your nap?
Not that great. Couches aren't comfortable.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, we all make sacrifices.
All right. So what did you? What do you get for being a level 9? You're a level higher than everybody else.
Yeah. So it's technically been 2 levels since Zoe's last level up explanation, and the main thing that's changed is spell slots. It's everybody gets the same thing at level 8, and there were no feats really worth taking, so no need to go through the minutia. I upped the same score everybody's basically going to because it's the one important one. But the important thing is new spell slots, and since I'm a sorcerer, new spells that come with that. So the new spells that Zoey has is level 3. She took Dispel Magic, and she has a level 5 spell slot now, and she took for that Telekinesis, which allows you to basically like pull things or manipulate people to a certain extent. So the new weapons in her arsenal in comparison to some new motivation she has.
So it's telekinesis, and what was the other one?
Dispel Magic.
Okay.
Which allows you to kind of counter certain spells that are happening. It's not the same as counter spell, which is an ability to let you actively like counteract a magic spell as it's happening. If you ever play Magic the Gathering, like the blue cards that just let you like be like, no, fuck your card, goes to the graveyard now, I just cancel it. It's not like that. This is like stuff that's already existing, like a magic curse on a box or something like that.
I'm glad you explained it in terms I can understand.
I probably screwed it up. I haven't played Magic in a really long time. I can't explain it in Hearthstone terms, though, so I went with what I knew.
Okay, are there even instant spell Hearthstone card? Anyway, that's not important.
So the one thing Zoey really wants to do right now is to go to Tarsus.
All right, so this is after the flirtathon, I assume.
She just walks by and she just sees it going on. She's just like, just that like head nod thing, like, yeah, cool.
Get it, girl.
We didn't mention it at the time, but I clocked you and I nodded back like, yeah, I got this.
We like, as like we passed by, we just did a tail high five.
I must say there is some beautiful tail high five fan art that's been going around, and it's lovely.
At this point, remember, Zoey is still very invisible, so it's just a hat.
So you just see a hat nodding at you.
It's fine. I saw the floating hat and I nodded.
And, yeah, you just did a fucking milady tip.
You just felt the finger guns being pointed at you, so.
And then you guys just swatted tails at each other until you got the high five right. Yeah.
Yeah. So Zoe's going to try to, I don't know if she actually knows where Claire stays generally, like where Claire's room is.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm assuming if she can't figure it out or just know naturally, she would ask somebody to try to find that out.
Yeah, so you go into Tarsus and you start asking around if anybody has seen Claire, and they all say no, or that like they saw her earlier, but she's gone now. And you basically get the sense that she stormed off at some point after getting yelled at by Lady Nim. So she's not here.
Well, that's unfortunate for her. All right. She is gonna go now. The other day when we were here, Lady Nim screamed from what I would presume is wherever she generally resides. I don't know if she has an office or a den or something like that. Zoey wants to go in like the general direction of that, and I think since I'm invisible, I might as well take advantage of it. I'm gonna throw away the hat for the moment being. So now I'm completely invisible.
Infiltration mission time.
Or mostly just so people aren't just like, hey, what's that floating hat doing over there, you know?
Yeah, of course. We skimmed over you walking around a bar and just a sentient hat asking people where someone is. Why don't you roll me survival to try to figure out where Lady Nim is? Because when she yelled, it like the building boomed, basically. It didn't seem like it came from one particular direction.
Just a 1, so it's not going to be a great bonus. 15, though.
Yeah, that's fine. So you walk kind of from door to door. Remember, this was a hotel, so all the rooms are now like shops or something, or they're like basically different kind of illicit enterprises. So you kind of ease each door open and kind of peek inside to see what's going on. And some people are like, selling stuff. That's what Penny's room is. And there's one that you saw Claire walk into and kind of slam the door behind her. That's her room. One of them is Carrie's room. She lives here. And then you find one it seems to be empty, like bare, as if everything had been taken out of it, including things that were like probably bolted down when this was just a hotel. But with a 15, you notice there's something kind of off about the room, and then you just kind of slip inside invisibly. And when you look around, you notice in one of the corners, there is a long vertical line in the air. It's hard to explain, but it's just like someone cut the air in a slash down. And you see this weird, just like spatial distortion.
Okay. I want to approach this spatial distortion and see if if I look around it, if it reveals anything. Try to investigate it, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. You roll investigation.
Well, this is going to be good. Can I say I perform in front of it and it gives me its secrets? 18. Never mind. I don't need that. 18. Screw you.
Yeah, very good. So you walk around this weird vertical distortion in the air, and when you get behind it, it disappears. So it's only visible from one direction. And then you kind of peek through it, and it seems like there's something on the other side. So you kind of gingerly pull at it, and it just slides open like a sliding glass door. And there's literally just a door in the air here, which leads into a pocket dimension inside this room. And when you slide that door open, you just see Lady Nim sitting at a desk in this. It looks like you're in space. It's just blackness in every direction and stars, and you see galaxies overhead. She's just in the shadow zone in here at a desk, and she's just looking through papers and stuff. And when you slide her door open, she says, gonna need to hire some security. People keep breaking in and stealing all our sheaths and opening all of our doors. Very troublesome.
I'm not here to take anything.
I know, dear. You would be dead.
How did you know it was me?
You don't get to the head of a fiendish organization without mastering true sight, little lady. It's kind of a rather quaint trick to try to sneak around your foes invisible.
Oh, well, if it helps, I'm not trying to do so. It just sort of happened, and now I can't turn it off.
Would you like it off? It's really the least I could do.
I mean, it's not the worst thing. What did it cost?
We could say this one's free. That's how you get them hooked, right? First taste is free.
Sure. I don't know what you're referring to with the first taste is free, because I'm an innocent child, but...
Oh dear. We both know you're not a child. I have, of course, spoken at length with Claire. I should probably be up front if we're just going to have an open and honest dialogue here. I know everything you know, almost certainly at this point. So let's drop any artifice if we can, Zoe.
If you knew everything I knew, you'd know I didn't know what that word means, but let's continue on as though I did.
Oh, Zoe. She snaps her fingers and you're visible.
Dope. Speaking of Claire, I haven't seen her around. Is she doing okay?
She is most emphatically not doing okay, Zoe. In fact, I would say I have something of a Claire problem at the moment.
Oh?
She is not as reliable as I was hoping.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that. I thought a me who had, not all the issues would be a lot cooler.
She has insecurities, which are inconvenient. I don't know how much you know about devils, but we prize a certain amount of discipline in our dealings. She has not been the best fit so far for our organization.
You're not going to get rid of her, are you?
That is a wonderful question. Before we talk about that, Zoe, what has brought you here before me? I can't imagine you were just curious where I lay my pen.
I mean, if I had known that it was a space world, then yeah, I think I would have been a little curious about it, but that's not really all in all why I'm here. Does she have a chair in front of her desk right like that?
No, she doesn't. Visitors don't get to go in this room. As a general rule, if she wants you, she finds you.
Well then, Zoe's gonna go up closer towards her desk and she's gonna say, I'm here to make a deal.
I can't imagine any sentence that brings me more joy. It's like every time I hear it, it never gets old. It's so good.
Do you need a minute?
She just makes yummy noises.
She's like, num 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 num.
It's so sweet. You've come and I have all this leverage and power and you have nothing and you're all mortal. It's so good. Forgive me, dear. It's the little things in life, you know?
Yeah. I totally get that. So, I have heard that you deal with souls.
There's a kernel of truth to every stereotype, I suppose. Yeah, I indulge on a soul on occasion.
Well, I'll be to the point then. Claire asked me for the part of my soul that she feels she's entitled to.
I'm aware. I tasked her with that very thing.
Well, I'm willing to make a trade for that part of my soul. But to you directly.
Ah, I see. I believe you misunderstood the goals of that particular mission. See, I wanted Claire to prove that she could get your soul. It's not your soul that I'm after. I'm sure it's fine, don't get me wrong. I don't mean to soul shame, but I have quite the selection of souls. Mighty kings and pure saints. Yeah, you seem fine, but I don't want to overstate your position.
What is something that you'd want from me then?
The first rule of negotiation is not to immediately tip your hand, which I'm very thankful you did not know, as we are here now. Why don't you tell me what you are after? That's probably the best place to start.
I'm looking for two things. The first is I want information. I want to know everything about when you and the rest of the Lilies first came to Ilium.
All right, that's one.
And the second thing is I want your help in stopping Warden Light.
Stopping him from what?
Stopping him from doing as he pleases with no resistance.
Intriguing. I can't say that I'm a fan of Warden Light, obviously, but he is mostly an inconvenience. He is as aware as I am that our ceasefire is for both of our benefits. Starting a war does not benefit me. As far as giving you information about how the organization began, I don't see any harm in it if you would just like me to tell you a bedtime story. Hardly seems soul-worthy. Are you sure this is the extent of that which I can grant you?
You'll tell me everything, though, about all the people you killed?
We might be here for a millennia or two.
I mean, is this like a space-time chamber? Do I have that kind of time?
It is not, dear, unfortunately. Just, if you want to hear the story of everyone I've killed, well, bring a couple phone books. Phones haven't been invented yet. That doesn't make any sense for us. My point is, let me put it this way. How many breads have you eaten in your life?
3, 4. She's like counting on her hand. 5.
It's gonna be really good for the 10 people in the audience. What good do you think it'll do you to know that one day this wall of light appeared, we arrived trying to find the best way for it to benefit us, found ourselves trapped, and then slaughtered all the annoying people? That's all there is to it, until eventually Light showed up with his big tower and started telling people what to do.
You must have had a reason for coming in here, though, if you realized you couldn't get out.
We came here because this is perhaps the greatest concentration of magical power in all of existence.
But why? Why this barrier? What is it? What was it created for? Who made it?
Now, see, that is the kind of question that may be worth a soul or two.
If you could tell me what made the barrier and how to get rid of it, I'll give you anything.
Oh boy, now we're wheeling and dealing.
Hey, this isn't season 2.
That's what I was about to say.
It's like I threw it in there for a reason.
Callback.
Call back.
She does hand clap emojis for the rest of this conversation, by the way.
After every word, yeah.
She says, I may have the information you're looking for. Perhaps not all of it, but I can point you in the direction which will definitively answer your question. You've come to the right place, Zoe. The question of payment, though, that's the real question, because I'm sure your soul is fine, but what I need is people I can count on, people who can get things done, people who are willing to go to the lengths I require. Does that sound like you? Are you that kind of person?
Yeah, I think so.
Wonderful. I'm so glad to hear it, Zoe. And she kind of leans forward, and if you don't remember what this character looks like, it's been a while since we've seen Lady Nim on screen. She's just like excruciatingly pale, like elegant woman. You can see the like blue veins through her skin. She's like outwardly creepy and gives off like a deliberately evil, bad aura, and she makes no secret of it. And she kind of smiles all toothy and sharky at you. And she says, I will tell you exactly what you want to know. You will find out where the barrier came from and what can be done about it, if anything. I can give you that. Here's what I need from you. Put an end to my Claire problem.
So he's gonna raise her hand?
Yes. Small one in the back, tail.
So, to clarify, because that was kind of vague, do you mean like just tell her to shape up, or is this like the wink wink nudge nudge kind of take care of?
And remember, there's a clap emoji between every word in the sentence. Kill your sister.
Oh.
I think that's a good deal. Not my best. I've brokered some good deals. That's like top percentile, 25 percentile maybe, quarter. Yeah, that's good.
Zoe's just gonna walk up to the desk and like extend her hand, and she just says, I do that, and I get everything I want, information-wise about the barrier.
I will tell you what you need to know to learn that. It's not something that's a simple one sentence, the barrier is the friends you make along the way kind of thing. Good,
because that would be really lame and disappointing.
Are you reaching out to shake her hand to seal this deal?
Yeah, but before like she actually like shakes on it, she's like gonna pull her hand back a little bit. She just says, and I want to know what Warden Light's weaknesses are.
He has the same weaknesses all angels do. Overconfidence, short-sightedness, bad hair.
I knew you were going to say bad hair.
If you mean something more specific,
I mean what it takes to stop him.
So, I apologize. I've set a precedent of being vague with my Claire problem thing. That's on me. Let me reverse this, make up for it. What do you want to do to him exactly?
Is there a way to send him back?
Out of the bear? Once you enter, you cannot leave. So if your goal is to send him out, that would involve unraveling the mystery of the barrier, which is already in progress. So that's kind of part and parcel.
Is there a way to get into his prison then?
It's in the tower, is it not?
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like it's something you could just walk into. Or maybe you can. I haven't tried. I may have come here haphazardly after not checking.
Fortune favors the impulsive. Not really. They usually wind up dead. That's neither here nor there. Do we have a deal, Zoe? Because I have what you're looking for.
Yeah, we have a deal.
Oh, this is my favorite part.
In my mind, she's just becoming like Oprah right before she gives everyone cars.
You get a deal. You get a deal. Everyone kill their family. Yeah, so you guys shake on it, and it's her hand is cold as death. And it's clammy. And there's like a flash of magic when you do it, which is disconcerting.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Does she have pens on her desk?
Yes.
All right, I want to use Fatboy Slim to dissolve her pens.
Oh!
Sleight of hand to get away with it if you're not doing it, obviously.
Well, let's see. 17.
All right, you melt 2 pens, and as you're starting on the 3rd, I think you get the sense that you're about to get caught, so you stop.
Good. I hope she's constantly wondering what's happening to her pens.
All right, yeah, and I like it. Like Fatboy Slim like kind of comes up through the bottom of the desk, so she doesn't see him, and he's like putting one finger up through it and melting it. It's very sneaky. Oh God.
From Hell's Heart.
Roland's still the only one that has not actually done anything with his stand/persona yet. So
there's time.
There's time. There will be time. Yeah.
Keep that Chekhov's gun handy. So are you done here?
I think so.
All right. A wonderful deal struck. And I think together, I don't know how much you guys want to share information, but this is Austin now because there seems to be a lot of confusion about this. The subtext to like 3 different conversations we've had tonight is Warden Light can be killed. You're just going to need a holy weapon, like something empowered by a god.
Yeah, that's just, that's a dragon on staff. The other thing is, we There's other details about Roland's equipment that are not established, but that probably wouldn't be appropriate either.
Roland's armor he's trying to get back is very, very good. It's super high quality, like very good stats, but it is not touched by the gods in the way that the staff is.
That would be necessary. Yeah.
But we're on our way, though. We're putting the feelers out. I am slightly concerned that, considering that all of us have put feelers out about killing an angel, that maybe word might get back to said angel, but...
I'm sure that's fine.
It's fine, it was purely hypothetical. I'll just roll a couple more 20s, it'll be fine.
All right, so everybody reconvenes at the headquarters eventually, and there's a montage of you guys using your downtime to get better acquainted. Maybe there's a barbecue or something. Time passes. But eventually, the next mission begins. And how it starts is you guys are all gathered together, and Winifred comes in, and he says, So, I have good news, bad news, and very bad news. What order should I do this in?
What's the bad news?
Someone's been murdered.
What's the very bad news?
Theodora killed somebody.
What's the good news?
I have a mission from Warden Light. I don't know if that was the best order to do that in. That's your bed. You lie in it.
Is there medium news?
I am trying out some cool stuff with blackberries I'm pretty excited about. It's not going perfect, but I'm confident.
If I can make a suggestion?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you have blackberries because you just use good berries every time.
What? You don't know my life?
He had so much sass!
like Roland has 2 things of jelly just in front of him that he's headed down. About this conversation.
So, who's Theodora killed?
I don't know. I only saw it in the memories of the thing in the ice.
So, Theodora killing someone isn't the mission.
No, that's just deeply upsetting.
Okay, we can come back to that later. What's the mission? I assumed the mission was we were going after whatever this killing thing was, but if it's not the mission, what's the mission?
We'll definitely have to resolve that, but no one's paying us to do so. The thing that we're being paid for is Warden Light has sent us a contract to find a murderer.
Is it Theodora? Are you looping back to me here?
No, he doesn't know yet.
Okay. Could be Theodora, but probably not then.
No.
Well, who was the person who was murdered? That's not the person Theodora murdered.
Her name, and he pulls up his dossier, and he says, is Lyra.
Ah, crap. Did we ever address that? None of us ever went back to talk to her.
Nope.
I feel bad.
So if anybody wanted to apologize, you kind of missed your window.
Also, I was just canoning in that Roland has the dragon chess set at the kitchen table and has been playing Zoey there. And I just rolled my dragon chess attempt and I have a 1 in there. So Chris has a chance to beat me at dragon chess here.
Still not a good chance.
Let's see. Ooh.
Hey, 14. I finally win. I probably cheated. Your hands are too full of jelly to play.
I can't hold all this jelly.
Whoever killed Lyra has got to be barred to the bone.
You already used that one, Veltari. Also, do you work here now?
I might as well work here. The last time I was here, I got a manticore, and you weren't there. You don't know I used that pun. I can use the same pun on multiple groups of people. You don't know me.
That's true.
Trust me, at this table there are no barred feelings one way or another.
Can I have wild magic Roland with fucking telekinesis to launch jars of jelly towards his face?
Yes, of course.
Do it.
I hope it's not one of the big deal ones.
Hey, what's 1? 1's not a big deal, is it?
Did you really roll a 1?
I rolled a 1.
You son of a bitch! No. Okay, so I said they weren't in any particular order.
Except...
That was a little bit misleading. 1 and 20 are kind of big deals.
I just like to think this glass just shatters at Roland's face.
Oh no.
Okay, you splattered jelly on your dad, and your hand catches fire.
Oh.
And your hand is engulfed in flames, and it won't go out, and it begins to spread up your forearm.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, are you Johnny Storm?
Oh, holy shit, yes!
That would be probably a better outcome than what happens.
Oh no.
Am I just gonna get incinerated?
As everybody watches, Zoe is just slowly engulfed in fire. This can't be, you can't do this on the end of this episode.
Oh, please tell me I die at the end of this episode after making my deal with Satan and everything.
What happens is you are eventually consumed by the fire, and nobody really can do anything to stop you, I don't think.
Gust isn't going to put out the fire.
I am rifling through my abilities, being like, what can I do? Can I do anything?
So here's what happens. Eventually, where Zoe was is just fire, and then as it begins to die down, where Zoe was is something else.
Uh-oh.
And what that is a Zoe-sized red dragon.
We got ourselves now a sorcerer that has both the dragon side and the wild magic side in one, I guess, right?
Zoe, you feel really powerful all of a sudden.
Fuck yeah!
Zoe, heckin' good new tail. I'm a fan of the leather. Leathery tails are where it's at, my friend.
Zoe's going to turn to Roland, and she's gonna say, do you have something to say? Don't make me dragging it out of you.
I don't know. The pain is not that scaling to me right now.
Eat my entire butt!
Roland's expression is completely flat, he's just sort of not even impressed by what's happened.
We may need to stop with all these puns at this point. They're getting pretty clawful.
As always, I'd like to thank Overclock Remix for our theme music, including Acoustic Jam at the Lucifer Alpha, an arrangement of Biohazard from Snatcher, Simply Begrooved, an arrangement of Simple and Clean from Kingdom Hearts, and Mystic Chemicals, an arrangement of Mystic Cave and Chemical Plant Zone from Sonic the Hedgehog. Executive producers for June 2017 are Jade, Kerstine Haslinger, Extellaris, Joseph Timbrello, The Cult of Gorfanax, Irving Royale, Andrew Grothin, Paul Mullen, Finch DeYoung, Luke Powers, Michael Goodell, Brent, Sarah Likens, Pruitt Holcomb, Artemis BJJ, Martial Arts in Bristol, Francois V, Tarka, Melissa Nielsen, Shyness, Dennis Pancake Detlefson, Ripter Stormwolf, Miko from Finland, Dennis Bengston, Josh Mosier, Endigo Van Dane, James Bevan, Ellison Ansell, Sydney Marsing, Justa Jester, John Potts, Kevin Dobbins, Varden Akrasimova, Carl, Brady Warner, Kitty Foe, James Neely, Eugene T., Marissa Donaldson, Melanie Joe, Lana Seawolf, Toby Gleason Stack, Ruby Offer, Matthew Weber, Sarah Henley, Melissa Booker, Cameron Abbas, Dylan, Gary Sayon, Anna Stuhlfarer, Sean the host of Funk Dunk, Giorgio Renna, Harrison Andrew, Kevin Seidlow, Christopher Charlo, Jorrit, Viger Arnston, Cody Jackson, August Rue, Athos, and Ingmar Gremin. You can join this list by supporting the show at patreon.com/Austin Yorsky, and you can support Chris and his artistic endeavors at patreon.com/weekly manga recap. And you can find Laura at patreon.com/LauraKBuzz. You can also help support the show by liking, commenting, and subscribing to us on Google Play, iTunes, YouTube, or Podbean, or anywhere else you found us. Are you pirating us right now? Are we on the deep web? If you're a cop, you have to tell me.